All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to our anomaly broadcast here. Okay, so welcome to the anomaly broadcast. Today we're going to be, we'll have special guests in the studio that are on their way. We will have, what else is going on? We have the scores, so you can see the scores from Riga, Latvia, Linz, Austria. Give me 1 second here. Anomaly. Okay, so I'm echoing. I want to get rid of that. Okay, so all right. We have, let's see, we got the map is on Riga, Latvia right now. So currently we have the scores at sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Okay, so as you can see, we have Riga, Latvia. The score is 52.61 to 47.39 for the resistance. And in Linz, Austria, we have 71.24 to 28.76. So right now is the portal capture phase. Everyone is running around capturing all those orange portals you see. Let's take a zoom out here. So yeah, you'll be able to see this is Riga. Lots of missions in Riga. Let's zoom in a little bit. And then we also have Linz, Austria. And I apologize for the clicking. It's just part of this broadcast today. That's going to be a problem, but okay. I'm using some new tools for the broadcast here, so bear with me. So here's Linz, Austria. All right. So welcome everyone to this morning's broadcast. We have the European anomalies first in Riga and Linz, and then this afternoon we'll be broadcasting North America, and that is Philadelphia and Vancouver. So we have the scores going above and below for the different cities, as you can see. And yeah, so right now is the portal capture phase. There's 4 measurements, one every 15 minutes, so we should be coming up actually on the scoring of measurement 2. Let me refresh my... Just checking out the scores here. All right, so let's make a modification. All right, let's... So the ENL, the Enlightened, or no. Oh, I have this score wrong. I am so sorry. I am not reading this. Okay. For Riga, the Enlightened are winning with 52.41, and the Resistance are losing with 47.59. And then in lens, Enlightened lost some of their points, 25.62 to resistance 74.38. So we'll get those scores updated for you. There they are. All right, so the scores have been updated. We have our, okay, so right now the map is on lens. That's what we're looking at right now with these portals. Let's refresh the map here. So the objective for this first part is portal capture. So they want to run around and capture as many of these portals as they can that you can see here. Oop, this one. Lots of blue happening right now in lens. So each portal capture is worth a certain amount of points. And then also there are volatile portals. Volatile portals are worth extra points, and those will, I guess, give them more points. So right now it's based on the portal capture, there's a distribution of points, and that's how the scores are going right now. So the resistance in lens have 74% of the points. The Enlightened have 25% of the total possible points. It's a new scoring method that's been going on. And as we zoom in here. So we'll have the portal capture, we'll have the link or the shard shuttle, we'll have the link stars, and then we'll get the final scores at the end of this thing. So you can see below and above the scores. Okay, so Riga, Latvia, we have portal capturing going on, and in actually 4 minutes, we will have the third measurement. So there's 4 measurements, one every 15 minutes. The measurement lasts for a minute or two, and that's the time that you don't know when, but sometime during that time, they're going to be taking a score. They'll take a screenshot, and they'll add up all the points, etc., and then you get the scores that you see. Clicky, I have a new clicky keyboard, so this is going to be fun for people watching at home. Okay, I will be right back. We'll keep the scores going, and we'll be back with measurement 3 shortly here. Oh, something must be going on. All right, and I will have guests coming to assist with the new tools here, new stuff going on. Still learning some of the ropes. All right, 1 minute measurement In 1 minute, measurement 3 will start. All right, I will be right back, and we'll have the scores of measurement 3 shortly here. All right, we're back. Okay, so let's check on the scores here. Needed some coffee. It's early here in good old USA. Ooh, that is hot. Morning, everyone. The chat is available if you want to interact through the chat. We will have, let's see, we'll have some analysis. I've got some folks coming. We'll have some analysis for Europe. And then North America, we are going to be doing the same thing. We'll have the anomalies broadcast and everything. And those will be, I think, is it noon or 1 o'clock Central Time. So, okay, scores. Scroll. All right, no scores yet. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on. Let's change up the map here. This is all right, so you can see this is Riga. This is a pretty big play box here. I haven't seen a play box that big in a while. So while we get the scores, let's talk about the other scores. So for Riga, since that's what we're looking at right now, let me just adjust this. This is all the wonders of live Live broadcasting. Okay. All right, so Riga. Currently, the score is Enlightened 52.41, Resistance 47.59. And in measurement 1, the Resistance actually controlled 245 non-volatiles to 194 for the Enlightened. But the Enlightened had one more volatile than the Resistance, so 58 to 47 on the volatiles. It's a pretty even match there. So the Resistance slightly edged out the Enlightened in that measurement. Measurement 2, the non-volatiles controlled were 242 to 227, and the volatiles controlled were 38 to 49, and each of those volatiles were worth 6 points. So the volatiles are going to be worth more points. There's going to be less of them, but there's going to be more points as we continue on through the hour here. And the raw score was 521 to 470. So the Resistance barely edged out the Enlightened and Riga for measurement 1, and the Enlightened are slowly gaining ground there, as you can see by the score. 521 to 470 was the raw score. And then looking at Linz, hopefully I'm pronouncing these places correctly. That would be funny. Yeah, so someone had a question about the Riga scores. The Enlightened are winning 52 to 47 right now. So, yeah, they just, measurement 2, they just gained the upper hand. Measurement 3 scores, let's see, do we got those? I think we do now. Yes, okay. So let me make some adjustments here. To our scores. All right. So Riga's, wait, which one am I? Oh, shoot. Okay, Riga. Riga's current score is Resistance 44.08, Enlightened 55.92. So the Enlightened are slowly edging up in Riga, and then for Linz, we have Resistance at 76.26, Enlightened at 23.74. So, the scores are now updated on your screens, and we have the new scores. So, again, we have the, let's see, we have the Enlightened and Riga are slowly gaining ground. So they had, okay, so the portals controlled, normal portals are 230 for the Enlightened, 249 for the Resistance. So the Resistance got 19 more portals. The problem is the Enlightened scored 37 volatiles to the Resistance 21. And these volatiles for measurement 3 are worth 10 points. So there's less volatiles, more points. The first volatiles were worth 4 points, then 6, and now 10. And for measurement 4, which is the end of the portal capture at in about 5-6 minutes here, then the volatiles are actually going to be worth 22 points. So this is a chance for the resistance to bring it back around. If they can capture those, let's actually zoom in on Riga here. All right. We got our very rough broadcast here, but that's okay. I made some enhancements to the scoreboard and everything. So this is Riga. And this is... All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of green happening in Riga here. A lot of green. Looks like there's some blue. The blue seem to be maintaining hold in the, what is that, the northwest area of the play box here. Links are starting to fly. But yeah, the resistance in Riga, they're really going to have to put forth some effort here if they want to recapture the scores. And we have 5 minutes until the measurement. Slowly making things as I go here. Where's my... Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so... Europe anomalies, again, let's take a look at the scores here. Okay, so, yeah, so for Riga, again, the Enlightened are definitely maintaining more volatiles than the resistance, and that's what's causing them to be winning the score right now. Volatiles controlled for measurement 3 were 37 to 21. Those non-volatile portals. So here's something interesting. So non-volatiles, I think, are only worth 1 point. So, and the volatiles are worth 10 points for that measurement. So the Enlightened captured 230. The Resistance captured 249. So the Resistance are up by 19 points. But the Enlightened captured, what do we have? 16 more volatiles times 10, so that's 160 more points. So the resistance can bring it around, measurement 4, but they're going to really have to concentrate on those volatiles. They're worth 22 points, so... Okay. All right, so we're coming up on measurement 4, the final part of the portal capture phase. So, let's see. Let's refresh the map here. Okay, so we have the... Okay. Oh, I got a little graphic here. So we have measurement 4 is happening right now. All right, resistance of Riga. Make sure you're capturing those volatiles. That's the biggest thing right now. There were 22 points, and they can bring around the score. It looked like the normal portals were mostly even. And in let's go to Linz, Austria, while we have it here. So let's do some analysis of Linz here. We have, I mean, here we just have measurement 3. Resistance are just totally dominating in Linz. We had, for non-volatile portals, we had 295 to 72. Then in measurement 2, we had 327 to 58. And then in measurement 3, we had 364 to 47. So the Enlightened are slowly losing portals. The resistance are gaining more. And then for volatiles, it was 60 to 36. Then we had 50 to 21. And then we had 33 to 14. So again, the resistance is like, what is that, 2 to 1 on the volatiles. So that the score is just dominating right now. 76 to 23 in Linz. All right, so that does it for uh-oh. So there we have the end of phase 1, the portal capture phase. We'll get the scores here shortly. Right now, then, there's going to be a half an hour break period. The teams will start shifting around. We have the Shard Shuttle, which is coming up next. And if you played in the XO5 anomalies, you should be familiar with this. That's where we're going to have a number of shards, and then we have a number of research points for each team. The teams have to link each shard to the different research points, keep them moving along, and they get more points based on how many unique research points those shards visit. So you can't just keep going back and forth to the one. You only get 1 point for that. You got to keep them moving to the different research points. So linking is going to be extremely important for phase 2. I'm sure players are now all running around to their starting position. One thing that usually happens with this is there will be special intel dropped around, either part of the GoRuck stuff, part of some of the other things they have going on. They'll have the you'll get dead drops or intel on where either the shards or the research nodes are going to be. So some players may already know where they're supposed to go, where some of these things are going to spawn, and we will get that as soon as we do. I'm going to switch to this, and I will be right back as this break period is happening. All right, folks, we are back. Okay, so we got a score update for you. Let's see. In Linz that we're looking at right now, the Resistance currently have 63.03 and the Enlightened have 36.97. It's interesting. So the Resistance lost some points. The Enlightened gained some points. And also on the top of the screen, I've updated the total scores as we're going. We have the non-volatiles were 332 to 99, so almost 3-to-1 resistance for the non-volatile portals. However, the Enlightened scored 14 volatiles and the Resistance scored 9. So the Enlightened nearly doubled the volatile score, which is super important because those volatiles were worth 22 points. So the end raw score was 530 to 407. It wasn't as much of a blowout. At measurement 3, it was almost 700 to 187. And the measurement 4 raw score was 530 to 407. So the Enlightened are gaining ground in Linz. We'll see if they can turn it around for phase 2, which is going to start in about, I think, 17 minutes here. There's a half an hour break period. People are taking the time, drinking their water, their snacks, whatever else they got going on, moving to their starting locations. Let's refresh the map here. And then in Riga, we can move over to Riga. Oop, don't want that. Alright, so moving over to Riga here. Looks like the Resistance are starting to link in. Remember, this play box was a lot more green a couple minutes ago. So their scores, looking at the scores in Riga, we have... now remember, the Resistance needed to score volatiles for measurement 4 in order to start turning around that score. So for non-volatiles controlled, 236 to 264, the Enlightened had more, just barely more, so that about 30 portals in there. But the volatiles were exactly even at 14. So the Resistance must have heard my broadcast, and they captured 14 volatiles, and that helped because they're 22 points each. So the raw score was 544 to 572. So the Resistance in Riga are making a comeback. I don't want that. Resistance in Riga are making a comeback. The Enlightened and Linz are slowly but surely gaining ground. So that's our analysis for phase 1. Phase 2 will be starting soon. About 15 minutes here. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So remember there, looks like they captured that portal. Remember now it's the shard shuttle. So the ornaments, the orange rings on the portals are going to disappear. New stuff is going to appear. We have the shards with the links and the research nodes. Shards will appear. Research nodes will appear for both teams, and if they do the same, if they do the same color scheme as last year, I think the red is for the Resistance and the yellow is for the Enlightened, but we'll see the colors when they come up. The website that has all the scoring and the rules and stuff is down, so I can't pull a copy of the rules right now, but if I remember correctly from doing this so many times, I think it's the red is for the Resistance, the yellow is for the Enlightened, and then so the shards will appear. You have to link the shards, and there's jumps every 5 minutes, every 5 to 6 minutes. So you have to have that link up, and then let's see at so at 8:30 local time here is when the first, is it the first jump, or is it when the shards are, I think it might be the first jump. The first jump will happen. You got 5 minutes to link to a research node, and in that 1 minute time period between 8:35 and 8:36, sometime in there, a jump will happen. The shard will move along the link, hopefully to a research node of your team, and then you'll score a point for each individual research node that shard visits. So it's going to be a lot of linking craziness. Strategies for this are going to involve linking, obviously, blocking other teams with your links, but being careful because you don't want to block your own shard movements. Keeping those research nodes on the enemy team down, shielding and recharging your own research nodes so they stay up. You want to keep funneling through. There's different schools of thought on how to do this. Some people create a ring that they keep them going on. Some people will, shuttle them across and sort of do that sort of thing. So there's different strategies, but the end goal is to have those shards visit as many of those targets as you can on your team. I will be right back, and we will have more on Phase 2 coming up. There we go. Got to turn the mic on. All right, we're back, and we've got plenty more viewers here. Okay, so for those of you just joining me, we are about to start phase 2 of the Cassandra Prime Week 2 in Europe. So we have 2 cities battling it out. We have Riga, Latvia, and we have Linz, Austria. And we are right now in a break time. So in about 5 minutes, a little less than 5 minutes, phase 2 will start. We just had phase 1, which was the portal capture phase. The objective of that was to capture as many portals as you can. And, hold on. Okay. Capture as many portals as you can. And then there's also volatile portals, which were worth bonus points. They had less volatiles as the hour went on, but they were worth more points. So as you can see, we'll be keeping track of the scores. We have the portal capture phase scores, as well as the total scores for both cities have been updated there on the top of your screen. What happened to my... Oh, there. Okay. Oh, and now we have some shards starting to appear. So you can see, let's refresh the map. The map right now is looking at Riga. And currently there's a blue field over Riga. This is very strategic because the objective here is... So phase 2 involves the shard shuttle. You have the shards, which are the pink dots on the screen. Let's click on one here. Click on this one. There we go. Okay, so you can see there's a shard there, and the objective is to score them on these research nodes, which you can see red, I think red is for the resistance, and yellow, if I can find a yellow one. Well, we have, maybe they're still appearing on the map yet. So let's refresh the map. So the objective is to move the shards to the various research points. Each individual research point will, or each individual research point that shard visits will give you extra points. You don't want to keep going to the same research point. It only counts once. So you have to keep them going around. Now what's happening here is you can see here is, does this have any title on it? No. So I believe this is a, okay, so we have a resistance research node up there, and then we have an enlightened research node down toward the bottom left of the screen. So the resistance have linked out probably to a bunch of, oh shoot, I keep clicking the wrong thing here. Okay, so the resistance have linked out probably to block the enlightened first. You don't know where any of these shards are going to be. You may have some knowledge based on intel that you've gotten, but here there's a link star. Clearly it's meant to block the enlightened movements. The resistance could easily link the shards here, here, and here. There's one already linked here. So in about 1 minute here, the shards are going to start jumping, and they'll jump along links, and we want to get them onto the research nodes. Now that field overhead, which appears to be gone now, the fields are strategic because you can't link if you're under a field. So the resistance appear to have used that to make sure the enlightened aren't able to link anything for the first measurement. Now we don't know, I don't know right off the top of my head if the enlightened took out that field or if the resistance strategically took it out themselves. But you can see here is an here's an enlightened research node. They could try to link to this shard here, but they won't be able to because the resistance is blocking. So they'll have to try and take out this research node, which, let's see here, probably very heavy shielded. Yeah, so you can see that link got taken out. The Enlightened have a chance to possibly score this shard here if they can get... let me scroll over, sorry. They have the chance to score this shard here if they can get this link. Yeah, see, these links are starting to come down. So there's probably a squad of Enlightened up in this corner here, taking out this shard's owned by the Enlightened, this shard owned by the Enlightened, trying to prevent the shards from moving into that resistance research point. Now again, the shard jumps are going to be every 5 minutes, so let's reload the screen here. You can see the Enlightened are starting to do some blocking on the south part of the map here. Let's zoom in on Linz and see what's going on there. All right. Okay, so again, you got the same thing here. The Enlightened appear to own this research node pretty well. I guess not anymore. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got those Aegis shields on there. Trying to keep those links up. Looks like they have this shard linked here. Trying to probably get this one as well. They've got one here. One here, one there. Yeah, see, they're trying to move them closer to their research nodes. This resistance research node here, oh, now it's owned by the resistance. They're going to have to spread out their team to these other portals here to try and recapture these shards. These are probably very well shielded. Yeah, 4 Aegis shields, level 8 portal. That's going to be a tough one to take out. So this is the exciting part. Okay, so we have the... Oh, let me get my... I got my graphic. I should have it say phase begins. But anyway, so the shard shuttle phase has begun. Every 5 minutes now for the next hour, the shards will be jumping. So in 3 minutes, this is the difficulty with the shard shuttle is everything is happening so fast. You have, if you're the resistance here at this portal, you're going to have to scramble to get teams. See, the Enlightened are already linking even more here. You're going to be scrambling to try and clear out these links. So you have a team of people that are standing on this portal here, trying to keep it as level 8 with the shields. They can't leave, because if they leave, the Enlightened are going to come and take your research node. So you have to have a dedicated team there that's shielding that portal, that's, you know, adding resonators. You may have a recharge room that's recharging what's going on there. And then you'll have to call in other teams to try and take out... Let's refresh the map and see if they were able to do this. Oh, shoot. So you're going to have to call in other players to take out this link here. You're going to want... I mean, they're probably scrambling, because this shard is like 2 blocks away. They could probably see it in their scanner. Like, I just need to, you know, go get it. Get out... Scramble. Yeah, it's morning. I can think about only breakfast right now. So other teams are coming in, trying to get those things so that they can link out. But there's obviously Enlightened players right here that are trying to secure this, because this one is, well, I guess it's oh, this one's linked to this research node. Yeah. So they have 1 minute to get that link down. And if they don't get that link down, oh, it looks like they did. Oh, maybe not. Intel map problems. So they have 1 minute to get that link down. Otherwise, that's going to be 1 point for the Enlightened. Now you can see we have this shard is also linked here. And we have one. Here's a shard that's scored for the Enlightened right here. Those shards will jump into that node. And what the Enlightened will want to do is try and link from here from here out to here. They'll have 2 shards in that research node, link them both out to the next research node, and keep it going around, and they'll get 2 points, or they'll get a point for each shard for each unique research node they visit. So in Linz, we have, let's see, what else is going on here? We have a resistance research node. Here, it looks like the resistance are scramble to keep this under links here. So this research node is essentially useless for the Enlightened right now. There's only 1 shard on it. There's so many links. The resistance, you got all these Aegis shields here. Resistance are basically linking like crazy to prevent this shard from moving, because again, it has to visit individual research points to get more points. So if these are just sitting there, they're not doing anything. They're not scoring any points. What the resistance are going to try and do is recapture that point and bring it over to theirs here. As we're looking at this, some of the difficulties, again, you're going to have probably, because the shards scored there, there's probably a team of Enlightened there. I don't know how many people. They're going to be trying to keep this research node for the Enlightened so that they continue bringing these. This shard is so close right here. Again, they can probably see that one in their scanner. These ones too. The Resistance have their research node right across the street here, and they're trying to score these shards, but it doesn't look like they have links. Let's research. No, research. Yeah, see over here, there's 3 minutes left. These are going to jump up here. You don't want them to jump up here. You want them to jump into the research node. There's already 2 shards at this one. They're going to want to try and jump those shards out to another research node. If they move out here, that's not so good because the Enlightened research node is right there. They're going to want to move it somewhere, maybe over here. How many shards are here? They got 2. So there's probably a huge team of Resistance here holding this portal so that they can link as many shards as possible into that. There's one almost. They've got a whole crowd of portals here, but they don't have the... There's a shard right there. There's one right here too. So we have 2 minutes until the next jump. Let's zoom in on the other place. It'll be interesting to see how the scores are looking. Yeah, see, okay, so Riga here. Now remember, in Riga, the Resistance were losing very slightly. They have 3 shards on this point here. And it looks like they're trying to get more. The problem is they need to keep scoring points. So they're going to probably try and jump this either here or... No, that one probably not. So the Resistance are probably going to try and jump these shards up here. One of the challenges with having so many shards on this is that it makes it a prime target for the Enlightened. So say somehow the Enlightened were to be able to take control of this portal, they now control 3 shards, and their research node is just a jump away here. Now the Resistance are blocking, but all they have to do is take out this portal. I know all they have to do. It's probably very challenging. Let's see. Yeah. Level A portal, all Aegis shields. But if for whatever reason they were able to take out that portal, the Enlightened would just need to recapture this and link it out here. And it looks like this portal's already going down a bit. Yeah, there's... it's losing health. No mods. Only 4 resonators. If the Enlightened were to recapture this, they could easily score 3 points that the resistance just scored and even out the scores here. Let me check out the scores so far. All right. I think all right, so in Linz, it looks like we're actually even 50-50. And then in Riga, the Enlightened actually they scored 8 points and the Resistance scored 1. Now, I'm not sure which jump this is. I don't know if it's the first jump or the second jump. So every 15 minutes, I'll update the scores. So give me 4 minutes and I'll get the scores updated with whatever I have on my little sheet right here. It doesn't say on the score sheet what jump they're on. So in Riga, which is I think what we're looking at right now, the Enlightened scored 8 points and the Resistance only scored 1 point. But it looks like that might be only the first jump, because here we have 3 shards. You know, we have other research resistance. Here's an example, a research node owned by the Enlightened. So the Resistance will have a tough time taking that one back. And it looks like they're trying everything possible to block this. The shards have jumped away from that. Let's refresh the map here. Where did they jump to? Oh, see? This is what I was worried about. So the Enlightened have linked their research node, it appears. And those shards have now jumped, well, one of them jumped here. And they're creating a ring here. So the next jump, here's 3 shards here that have moved. So the Enlightened are succeeding in one of the strategies that's good for the shard shuttle is to create a loop so that you collect all the shards at a research node and then you just move all those shards from research node to research node and keep it going around in circles. You could score as many points as you can with that, and then try and move it to either another ring that you have going or another research node, or you can assess the situation as things are happening. But this is definitely a worrisome for the Resistance here. There's a lot of green on the map. First of all, that's very difficult to deal with. And then you also have these links starting to pop up. Where is this one going? Yeah. They're basically setting up all these links so that the shards just keep jumping around, and then whenever they want to, they'll just send them off to the research nodes. All right, 1 minute until jump. Let's see, is that jump number 3 or 4? I think it's 3. So once we get around to quarter to the hour, then I will update the scores with what I have. Let's refresh the map here. The Resistance need to scramble to take out these Enlightened links here. Here you have another, this shard's going to jump here. Want them to get to there. They've got 2 here. I don't know if those visited that research point yet, or if they're if they've jumped out or if they're going to jump in the next minute or so. I guess we'll find out. All right, let me update my scores. First of all, let's see if they updated it yet. Okay. All right, I am in the process of updating the scores right now. Okay, so for Riga, Resistance have 25 and the Enlightened have 75. So the Enlightened have scored 12 points to the Resistance 4, bringing the total score in Riga to Resistance 72.55 to Enlightened 127.45. And then in Linz, we have 36.36 Enlightened to Resistance 63.64. And the total score for Linz so far is Enlightened 73.33. Resistance is 126.67. All right, let's update the scores on the screen. Bam. Okay, so again, the Enlightened are very much in control in Riga, and the Resistance are holding their own in Linz. Looks like the Enlightened are winning 4-1, is that? 3-1? Yeah. In Riga. Let's refresh the map here. All right, and as I was doing that, it's already only 2 minutes until the next jump, so it gives you an idea of how quickly things are happening here. Yeah, there are so many links, Enlightened links here. Resistance are trying here with their one, they're trying to spray some links to block, but they really got to do something here, the Resistance, to stop this. Okay, so it looks like Resistance are desperately trying to link out here to keep their... Oh, that one went down. Yeah, the Enlightened here are just dominating with their links. They have a very successful strategy. You can see all those links going on up here. Keep those shards moving and keep them away. It's like playing keep away with a football. You just toss it to your friend, and then the Resistance are like, please, please, help me. It's not working, though. Yeah, you can see here, that portal just went down to... They're trying to do anything they can to block off these links here. It looks like they're creating some link stars. The Resistance are doing this to try and prevent the Enlightened from going across the map and scoring more points. Remember, you don't get points if they keep visiting, so if these Enlightened keep these rings that they have up here going, they're not going to keep scoring points. Those will just sit there. Those will be prime targets for the resistance to come and take it away. Meanwhile, the Enlightened have to try and figure out what they're going to do with these. Are they going to send it off up here? Are they going to do something over here? It'll be interesting to see how this pans out. All right, so we have another jump is about to happen. Taking some notes for myself here. By the way, if you're enjoying this broadcast, we do have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/portalhunterclub and subscribe and be a supporter of the Portal Hunter Club, bringing you the best Ingress content like this, Anomaly live streams. Stay tuned, because North America, we have some folks coming in to help do some analysis for Europe. We also have other folks coming in to do some analysis for North America, and we also have, if I can get it working technically, but I plan on doing some live interviews with some folks out in the field in Philadelphia. So stay tuned for the North America, because we got a lot more cool stuff coming up. It's still pretty early here in the U.S. I guess it's almost 9 o'clock where I am in the morning. So stay tuned for that. I'll put the... put that in the YouTube chat. So become a supporter. Every little bit helps. Ooh, my map moved. Let's zoom in on Lynn's. We can do so much awesome stuff with the Portal Hunter Club with your support. We've already got a couple supporters, and thank you so much for the people who are already supporting us. I just started that yesterday, and we already have some supporters, so thank you so much. It means a lot, and it will really help us. You know, we have some of the fancy graphics going on here. I got the green screen behind me, you know, those kind of things. More enhancements on the way. I plan on audio broadcast, podcast. That's something that's been suggested a bunch of times. There's a little bit of overhead on that. So if I get to 25 supporters on Patreon, I'll be able to set up the audio broadcast podcast of the weekly show. And then 50 supporters, I will be able to start doing swag and stuff. I know Ingress people love their swag. So yes, thank you all for supporting, and to those who are filling in the thing right now, thank you so much. It really does, it means a lot to see the supporters. So I want to integrate more with the screen. I've been playing around with like alerts and stuff, so if there's a supporter, the little thing will pop up. I don't think it's working right now, but at some point it will. So we've got a lot coming on the way here. And in me talking about that, it's already time for the next jump. It's crazy how fast this stuff goes here. So let's refresh the map in Linz. You can see it now. Linz is like the opposite of Riga. You've got all these links here. The Enlightened are looking at their scanners like, oh, what am I supposed to do? So you have lots of shards going into this research node. You got 3 there right now at the Kepler statue. And then that one is linked to this research node at the Neptunbrunnen Hessenplatz. So the Resistance in Linz have set up exactly what the Enlightened in Riga have done. They have the links going around in circles, and these links in turn are blocking the Enlightened, as you can see here. Yeah. Well, this is owned by the Resistance right now, but I think we looked at this one earlier. It looks like the Enlightened basically have abandoned this point and are trying to move on. What happens in these shard games is you try and think about how you want your teams distributed. You have to have enough players at those research nodes to hold them. So like this one right here, the Hessenplatz, you've got 3 Aegis Shields, probably 4 at some point. You probably have like over 20 players there holding that portal, constantly laying shields, rezos, getting links out, people recharging and that kind of stuff. The Enlightened are coming over to try and blow it up. They're doing everything they can, ultra strikes, bombs, whatever they have. And it looks like, you know, if they can blow this up, sending a couple links across here will really screw with the Resistance plan. So you have a whole group of people, but as you can see by that Enlightened point, where was that? Over here. This one's now owned by the Resistance, probably because there's so many Resistance players here. The Enlightened have basically abandoned this point, or there's just not enough people there to hold that. Maybe they're calling teams from other areas in to say, hey, we need to get this. This is a pretty juicy spot. So if the Enlightened were to call enough players over here, reclaim some of these portals, reclaim the research node, they could easily score 5 points here if they can get enough people over there. But again, then you're weighing out, okay, I've got to call people from over here. That area becomes blank, I guess. There's less players out there if I'm bringing them over here. You only have so many players to play with. There's no reinforcements really coming in. So you got to move people from one area to another, abandon certain areas. The Enlightened may be trying to focus their attention on this area to get some of these points. They're probably trying to focus attention on this research node to get rid of some of these links and stuff they got going on here. Anything they can do to chip away at the Resistance. Even if they were able to... Remember, the jump is only a 1 minute window. So sometime during that 1 minute, they'll jump. If the Enlightened are able to bring down one of these portals, even just for that 1 minute, that prevents a lot of Resistance points. And the same thing goes for Riga here. Let's zoom back over there and see how they're doing. Lots and lots of Enlightened links. Not looking good for the Resistance here. We'll get a score update in 2 minutes. Yeah, so the Resistance are going to want to try and do everything they can to get people over to this point. If the map will load. I don't even know if that's a... Oh, that is a research node. So yeah, you have... How many shards are on this one? Come on. Come on, map. The map is not playing nice today. Alright, you only have 1 shard there, but still, that research node is linked all the way across to this. Oh. It's linked all the way across the map to another research node. There, you can kind of see it right there. The Resistance really have to get that link down. They're going to do everything they can, get those ultra strikes going. All right, so we're at the top of the hour. So we're halfway through the shard shuttle. I'm going to refresh the scores here and see where we're at. All right, so let's do Riga first. All right, so Riga shard score as it stands right now. Let me refresh this one more time. All right, so as it stands right now in Riga, we have 28.57 resistance. Enlightened have 71.43. So the resistance gained some points, but right now it's just not enough to keep that going. For, let's see, oh, I gotta do the total score. So the total score as it stands right now in Riga, resistance gained a couple points. It's 76.12 to enlightened 123.88. So the resistance have a lot of points to make up in Riga. In Linz, the resistance have 83.33, and the enlightened have 16.67. So the resistance have gained quite a few points on the enlightened here in the shard shuttle in Linz. The total score now stands at enlightened 53. Wow, they lost a lot of points. Wait, yeah, 53.64, and the resistance are at 146.36. All right, so let's do that. All right, so the scores are now updated on your screen, as you can see, and in that time now we have 2 minutes until the next jump. I will be right back with that. I will be right back in a couple of minutes. All right, we're back. Okay, so let's refresh the map and see what's going on here. So we had another jump in that time. Riga. Looks like some of the enlightened links are faltering. And we have, oh, look at this. The resistance up here are trying to take command of these shards up here. You have the enlightened have 2 research nodes right here, actually, so they got to be careful that they're not just cycling through here. But looks like the resistance have created their own little place to cycle. How many shards are on there? There's just 1 shard on that portal. But there's 2 right here. There's one. Oh, resistance owns that portal now. So hopefully they can get that moved over here or here, depending on which one it needs to visit. Those resistance are definitely, this is the second half of the shards, of the shard part phase. Resistance in Riga definitely need to keep those things going, those cycles here, those loops. Good morning, North America agents. As you're tuning in, you can see we have the, if you're joining us, we have the score for Riga on the top of the screen, and we have the score for Linz on the bottom of the screen. We have the portal capture, the shard shuttle, and then the link stars, and then we have the total score as we are going forward here, so you'll be able to see all those things. So let's switch over to Linz. Alright, it's a very, very blue-dominated field here. The resistance appear to own many of the enlightened research nodes. We'll see how the scores pan out. I'll update the scores in about 5 minutes. We have another jump happening right about now. Alright, I will be right back. Give me 2 minutes. I gotta look at something here. All right, so I had to check something right there. we're doing this live. First time doing this for real. I've done a couple of tests of this, but we have a reporter in the field at Philly, and I'm testing the audio and video quality of that as we're going here. So, oh, this would be a good one for that. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so, yes, it definitely looks chaotic at Lynn's. And again, what they want to do is keep those shards moving. We have about 3 minutes until the next jump. There's, I think, 3 or 4 jumps left in this in the shard shuttle phase. So in about 3 minutes, I'll be updating the scores again, and we'll see where we are from there. Again, you can see the resistance are their plan looks to be executed perfectly. Keep those shards moving. Keep the links going. The links block enlightened links. Keep the other part is you only score points by visiting unique nodes. So they got to keep the shards moving around. It looks like they're able to do that. This is what you want to see if you're doing a shard. If you're the resistance, this is like this is what you want to see. Shards are moving. Shards are linked to blue research nodes. You keep them going. I guess one difficulty is if there's a lot of links, you don't know where these things are going to jump. So these shards might jump here, but they also might jump there or in here. They got to be careful with those. Not much you can do about that at this point, especially if those portals are virus. There's no way they're going to be able to take out those links. So they'll have to figure out something. I'm not sure. It doesn't really tell you which shards have visited which research nodes, but keeping them moving is the goal here, and this is a beautiful thing for the resistance. Now, last time we checked, the Enlightened in Riga were doing that very same thing. So let's go there. Yes. So if you're an Enlightened player and you're looking at this and you're thinking this is like the best thing ever, there's Enlightened links all over the place. Enlightened links to research nodes, linking shards. You got here, there's a couple of blue owned shards down here. However, Enlightened links are blocking them, so they aren't able to score these right now. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So we're at 15 minutes left. We've got, let's see, 15 minutes left, and I will be updating the scores. So let's look at this here. Shard score. So Riga is the first one. Refresh. Scroll. Riga, where's Riga? Okay, so for the shards currently, the resistance are making a little bit of a comeback here. 61.36. Well, they're minimizing the damage, I should say, to 38. So the resistance had 28, and now they have 38. So they gained quite a few points in that. So good for them. It's 61 to 38. And the total score currently is, let's see. Let's see. Where am I looking here? Okay. Sorry, I was distracted for a brief moment. Okay. Right now, the total score is Enlightened 113.81 to Resistance 86.19. So, it's getting closer there in Riga. The Resistance are holding on. That's a good thing. Oh, shoot. Didn't want to click on that. Alright, and then for Linz, shard score, we have resistance gained 2 points, so it's 85.71 to 14.29. And the total score currently in Riga is resistance 148.74 to enlightened 51.26. All right. There we go. All right, the scores are now in have been updated on your screen. All right, so the scores have been updated on the screen. The resistance, now it looks bad because the shard score enlightened 61 to resistance 38, but if you look at the total, it's 86 to 113. So there's still a margin where the resistance can come back. There's, I think, 3 more jumps left. There's a jump happening in 1 minute, and then 25 after, and then at the hour, or at the half hour, that'll be the final jump. So there's 3 more jumps left for the resistance to score more points there, or the enlightened to score more points, and minimize the damage, because how it works is they take the total points scored by both teams, and then whatever percentage of those points you have, that's how many points you have for. So right now, let's see, Riga. The enlightened have scored 27 shards, and the resistance have scored 17 shards. So you add that up, and then, so there's, what, 30, 44, and then you take 27 divided by 44, that's 61. So they have 61% of the total points available that have been scored. The resistance have the 17, so that's 38% of the total points. So again, as the resistance score more, it's also bringing down the enlightened score. And as the enlightened score more shards, because of all these links they have going on, the resistance score is going to go down. That's going to get added into the total score here. In Linz, the enlightened have only scored 4 shards. So it's 4 to 24. So the resistance have scored 85% of the points so far, and the enlightened have scored 14% of the points. And then that again gets added in. Now there's a total, because it's percentages. Each of the 3 phases has 100 points available that get distributed based on those scores that we were talking about. So there's 100 points available here. It looks like in Linz, the resistance will probably get away with most of those. And then there'll be another 100 points available for the link stars. So there's the 3 phases. We have one. Let's see. We just had a jump, so let's refresh the map, and actually let's move back over to Lens and see what's going on. Yeah, see, if you're Resistance, you're looking at this and you're like, yes. And if you're Enlightened, you're like, no. But the opposite is true in Riga, where the Enlightened have been dominating most of the day, at least for the Shard phase. It's actually a pretty close... you can see in Riga, it was almost 50-50 for the portal capture. And right now, the Shards are 60-30, or I guess 60-40. So, it's a pretty close match here. In Lens, it's not so much. The Resistance have pretty much dominated the Enlightened most of the day in Lens. Let's see. Yeah. Lens is definitely looking good for the Resistance. Now, coming into this day, the Enlightened are winning 6-3. The website with the scoring is down, so I forget actually how. Let me see if I can get a copy of that from someone. I got my clicky-clacky keyboard. Oh. All right, I will be right back. In the meantime, we are about to have the second to last shard jump here, so... All right, folks, we are back, and I've got the phase has ended. All right, so let's refresh the scores. I don't know if these are the final scores yet, because I don't know how quickly they update this based on the jumps. Oop, that's what I want. So I'll put the scores that I have now, and then we will update the scores after the break time. So right now there's a half-an-hour break time. Agents are getting ready for their Link Star Madness. So in Riga, let's get to Riga here. For right now, the score is Resistance gained some points, so it's 43.4 to Enlightened 56.6, bringing the total score currently in Riga to Enlightened 109.05 to Resistance 90.95. So the Resistance are slowly gaining ground. This is still anyone's game in Riga. Don't be afraid if you're Resistance and you're looking at this. Enlightened, you have a slight edge. So let's update the shard score for Linz. And Linz, they actually scored more. So the Resistance have now 90. Oops. 90.7 to... Oh, and it looks like a field just went up over Linz. 9.3. Bringing the total score in Linz to... Enlightened have 46.27, and the Resistance have 153.73. Again, I don't know if that is the... Let me get that going. Okay, so the scores are updated on the screen now. I don't know if that's the final jump score, but we'll get another score update once the Link frenzy happens. So, yeah. So there's different starburst targets. The teams will have to make starbursts out of those to score some points. So we'll be taking a short break right now, getting some stuff set up in the studio here, and we will be right back. Actually, I'm going to try my little intermission thing. so this is like what's getting ready. Oh, this one. Yeah. All right, welcome back, folks. We have Agent Cy Sperling with us to talk about anomaly analysis, or what he can...
I'm here to ask all the dumb questions that you guys want to ask.
So we've updated the scores. As you can see, the top of the screen is Riga, Latvia. The bottom of the screen is Linz, Austria. And what we've seen with the shard score did update again for the final jump. So with the shard score, it looks like in Riga, the resistance gained a little bit of ground. So it was 45 to 54 in Riga. And then it was, looks like 91. Yeah, go to Linz. Yeah, 91 to 8.7. So the resistance gained a lot of ground in Linz, and the resistance also, they're almost 50-50 in Riga, Latvia. So resistance doing their part to get their score up. So we've had this half an hour break period, and in between time, if you could refresh the map, we now have a faithful producer off camera. So now what we're going to be doing is moving into phase 3, which is the link star phase. And so what's going to happen is there's certain link star targets, and the teams will have to score, I think they have to score as many links as they can out of those specific targets. I'm a little fuzzy on the rules for this, and again, the website that had all the rules and the PDF documents is down right now, so wasn't able to get that before the show started. So we'll roll with it as we can. So again, there'll be another 100 points available. This whole phase is worth 100 points, so we'll see how much percent of each points each team is going to get, and then that will add to the total score. Also, after the anomaly is over, there's going to be unique hacking points. So agents have been going around uniquely hacking portals, and there's a small percentage of points that are available for the team that got the most unique hacks, and they have a certain way of scoring that as well. So right now we're looking at Riga, and you'll see, let's see. So for Riga, you'll see, I guess right now everyone is sort of repositioning themselves where they need to be for their link stars. So some of the link star targets were part of Intel, and dead drops and things like that. So that's okay. Intel was dropped around. GoRuck people got Intel, and some of the teams may know actually where they're supposed to be doing these link stars. So, and you just did a link star recently, right?
Yeah, we did one as part of a fracking party over at the Garcade, actually.
They had Mission Impossible Recursion, which is that resistance effort right now. So locally, our team did a link star there. And what were some of the challenges that you had when it came to link stars?
Not checking Intel maps prior to, and realizing like there's a park that's all linked up that like 5 or 6 of ours we couldn't link back to. We came back with keys and not as many links as we wanted to, unfortunately.
So you were going out trying to get keys to come back and link out, or
no,
were you linking?
We grabbed
out?
the keys at the actual
spot.
spot.
Okay.
And then we all drove out.
Okay.
And we were doing great, bang, 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 and then suddenly we were finding no links, and never checked the Intel map, and
little part needed to be cleared out. So,
rookie mistake.
That will happen in the anomaly actually too, because you have the other team right there trying to battle you. So what's happening is you're going to have groups of teams, like you said, at that point. They're going to be collecting all the keys they can for those targets, giving them out to bikers. The bike teams can distribute them out to players, or players hacking them themselves, going out like you guys did. And then you'll have players out in the field with their keys
bringing them back in to where the target is so they can shoot out from there. So those are some of the challenges we'll have with the Link Star. You got all this key distribution, key movement, things like that, and then you also have the Link Stars, or you have the enemy team trying to block your Link Stars. So you have teams that are going to have to go out and try and clear some of those links at the same time.
So is there a general accepted strategy then? Or you say you're actually standing at the hub of the Link Star. Would you be using 4 soft banks and trying to throw as many out, or are you trying to put as many like Aegis on there as possible and accept links in?
You'll probably want to do the latter. So you'll have a team of 10 to 20 people, depending on how many people are at your anomaly, on the target, shielding. You'll have some people doing shields, you'll have some people doing rezos, because enlightened teams will come over and they want to try and take that out. So you have some people recharging, rezos, shields, the whole thing. You may have recharge teams out in the wild at different cities also helping. And then we'll have teams key distributing and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot going on when it comes to these Link Stars. Especially because we know kind of the play box of where they're supposed to be. With the challenge Link Stars, the Enlightened doesn't necessarily know where it's going to happen and when. Right. This we know it's going to happen somewhere in this play box. So, a lot of shields. And this is the point where we're in hour 3 or 4. Well, this is hour 4 of the anomaly, so people are tired. It's getting close to dinner time in Europe. People's gear are starting to get low. So this is where the challenge really sets in, because how many shields and things do you think the Enlightened and the Resistance have used just to keep those? First they had the volatile portals, now they had the shard shuttle phase, now they have the Link Star phase, all that kind of stuff going on. So let's take a look at Linz and see what we got going on there. Oh,
ooh, looks like there's one going on.
So if you let's zoom in on this. Wow. So there we have an Enlightened Link Star target, and you can see all those links coming off of there. And if we click on that portal, kind of shift it over a little bit so you can see it on the screen there. That's okay. You just have to slide the map. There we go. Okay. So you can see it's a level 8 portal. Let's see the mods once. Yeah, all Aegis shields. So you probably have, like you said, a ton of people there. All recharging, dropping shields, the whole thing. Hopefully the Resistance, I'm sure they have bike teams scrambling to get out there and other people. Let's zoom out a little bit and see if there's any more. Maybe scroll up to the north. Maybe here. Trying to see where if and when there's another Link Star. Well, it would be in this general. I can zoom in a little bit on there. Maybe up there. Looks like maybe there's something happening up there. We'll see if it's a target if the map loads. So what's happening now is the Link Star phase, there's 2 parts. The first one is at the top of the hour, or actually it's at the bottom of the hour, and then the second part is at the top of the hour, at the final. So it looks like, I don't know if they're setting that up, if that's going to be one, or if that's just to block any resistance. So that's another thing, is set up a Link Star way out in the play box, spray links, so then if the Resistance have a target somewhere, they won't be able to score anything. So let's see. It's difficult because the map sometimes doesn't like to update the.
So when this works out, I remember the last time there was a Link Star, they had one Link Star taking place at X time and another Link Star taking place at Y time. Are these actually taking place at the same time?
Yes.
For these?
Yes.
Okay.
So these are all at the same time. You can see the Enlightened are building theirs. Now, the trick with this in Linz is the Enlightened links, the Link Stars don't actually score for another 20 minutes.
Okay.
So they're going to have to hold that. So I think it looks like the Enlightened strategy here is to just get a leg up and just spray as many links as they can now. They're losing pretty badly in Linz, so they're going to want to get a leg up and try and get their link star going now. The Resistance have their target just to the southeast, and yeah, that one's also a level 8 portal. You got all the shields on there. They're blocked pretty much. They only have like 4 links coming off of that. So the Enlightened, it looks like their strategy is succeeding to some degree for right now. Again, there's about 20 minutes left to go before it's actually scored, but it looks like for them, they're going to be trying, the Enlightened are trying to block the Resistance as much as humanly possible. So, and it looks like it's working. Now, I don't know how many targets there are for each team. I do know, I think they may have 1 or 2 for the first measurement, and then they have like 4 or something, 2 or 4. They like double it for the second one.
Okay.
So the first one is to get out there, and then the second one is even more challenging because you have more link star targets. Now, something interesting just happened over Linz. There's a blue field. So it was a little bit of a, yeah, let's zoom out and see how big this field is. Wow.
Wow.
So the Resistance here have created a massive field over Linz. The Enlightened kind of jumped the gun. Now we thought that was going to be their strategy. Good idea to get as many links out as they can right now. But the Resistance have created a field over that, so the Enlightened can't throw any more links. And the Resistance are now going to try and go to that hub, take it out before the score happens. So, yeah, it's interesting stuff happening there. Let's see if they're.
So that doesn't show as an actual target, though, the one that they're link starring from. Did they just do that? Or am I just
No, it does not. It does not. The map
yeah.
doesn't refresh immediately, and it looks like a couple more. If you zoom into the west a little bit, yeah. So there's another Resistance target. Yeah, just off to the left of the screen there, and so it looks like it's 2 targets per team for this first one. Looks like someone put some rare and common shields on there. No worries, those will probably get knocked off easy. But now the problem with this, so the Resistance have stopped the Enlightened from scoring on that. They have to take that thing down. But with the field up, they've blocked their own scoring. So that will be something. Now the Resistance agents know probably when they're going to take down their own field.
Right.
So once they get their teams, there's probably Resistance teams mobilizing as many as they can over to that point. Once that goes down, they'll radio out to the people in the field, take off the field themselves, and then start spraying their own links. So it's
Well, then that would make sense to if you're ahead that far, anyways. If you're Resistance, I mean, it just would make sense to shut down scoring. Period.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, especially with that link. That's the thing is, that link star is worth points now, even if it's over a field. So the Resistance has to get that down in the next 15 to 20 minutes here, in order to be effective in their scoring.
What are the odds they're going to take it down, you think?
They've been click on the portal once. The Resistance have been doing pretty well in Linz. So I just wanted to see if, they're taking it. It looks like they're taking out mods.
Ages, yeah.
So, but there's probably a massive group. The Enlightened probably put all their eggs in this basket and say, whatever we can do to keep this link star up, everyone come over here. At the same time, while this field is up and they can't link, this is giving the Enlightened a chance to hack this portal and distribute those keys out. So if it does come down and they put it back up, they can easily relink everything.
Right.
So they've got to be, it's going to be one of these where it's kind of like a duel. Once that field comes down, whoever can get that thing up, the Resistance will try and spray their links, and the Enlightened will try and spray theirs and it will sort of be a duel of who can get their links up first. So
Now, are they taking some of them out from the outside? It looks like they.
it looks like they probably have some people roving around either on bikes or running around, or they've got ground teams, and those are probably. So like we said before, they all go to that hub, hack the keys. So the resistance players that have hacked their hub keys are probably out. Let's just take out whatever enlightened portals we can, get them ready, so that once the field comes down, we can run back and shoot all the links that we need to shoot. So, yeah, it's an interesting battle, and this could, this Link Star is going to be worth a lot of points. This could help turn the tide for the enlightened there.
But they have lost quite a few of their links.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be a numbers battle too. So the resistance are closing in. You can see a lot of the portals that are close to that target are starting to come down, but a lot of the links that are spread out outside that area are still up. All right, so it looks like it went down. Yeah, let's click on it once and see what happened here. It looks like it's now we don't know. It could have gone down and then they quick rebuilt it.
Right.
But now we'll see if that field comes down. And this is that duel situation where if that blue field comes down, the enlightened have already built up their portal again, it looks like. So when that field comes down, whoever can start spraying links the quickest is going to be the one. Now, the resistance players, if you can scroll the map a little bit to the left. Yeah, it looks like that whole west side there is all blue. They're getting ready to do all that. The enlightened have like the other half of that, and that, it looks like, so both teams are getting their stuff ready. We'll see what happens. So let's take a quick break right now and hit the transition. All right, we're back. So, we've switched the map over to Riga, and it looks like there's only one Link Star target per team. So we've got it zoomed in on the Enlightened. The Enlightened have Link Star that's kind of spraying downward. The Resistance have that little section up to the north, right to the north of it. And then the Resistance target is to the north of the Enlightened one. Previously, now before we came back, the Enlightened actually had a field over the Resistance target. So the Resistance couldn't score any links. And now it looks like they were able to take out that field, so they probably had to say, okay, you guys go out there, take out this field, and then come back, because we need you to hold this portal. But it looks like the Resistance are struggling to hold this portal. And Riga will be interesting because the Link Star targets are so close to each other. I mean, looking at the map, they're probably like a mile away, a couple kilometers. Just my blind guessing at what. Yeah, so that portal, based on the resonators, is inoculated. So the only way to take that out is going to be to Ultra Strike, just use whatever Ultra Strikes you have left. The Resistance are probably sending people. And the problem is, once they're actually, the Resistance are doing a good job. If you could slide it up a little bit. Other way. Sorry, slide it down. So the Resistance right in the center of the screen there are holding those portals. If those go down, that entire green space to the east there is going to start being linked to. So the Enlightened have prepared, and if we click on a couple of those over on the I bet those are all, they probably all have good shields, and they got teams waiting, ready to go. As soon as those Resistance portals go down, it's going to just be absolute mayhem with the Enlightened target. The Resistance are doing everything they can to create sort of a wall there. Yep. They're starting to link as far as they can. Farther out you link, the more they'll have to walk to go get that. And then if we go back to the Resistance target, yeah, it looks like now it's owned by the Enlightened. So it looks like they're struggling to hold that portal. Let's refresh the map once and see what it looks like. Yeah, you may have to zoom in again. It looks like the Enlightened are starting to break through. The Resistance are doing whatever they can to hold that. It's like so it's 23 after, so there's 7 minutes left to go before the measurement. So the Resistance are scrambling to do anything they can in these 7 minutes to get those links up. Let's take a look at the other spot.
Oh,
and the
again.
field is still up,
yeah.
But it looks like the Resistance are using that field control to link out and prevent the Enlightened from linking. Because if we zoom in on that Link Star target, that one I don't think had any the last time we looked at it. They were just sort of sitting and waiting. That one's pretty well defended. There's another Enlightened target just to the north of that. I think that was the one that all the stuff came off of. Yeah. So the Resistance have successfully taken that out, and it looks like the Enlightened have pushed on westward to their other target. So it looks like Linz has 2 targets per team. Yeah, so the Enlightened have moved on to their other target. Which, maybe it's not that one. Huh. They are creating a Link Star. Okay, so there's the other Resistance target. And that one's got quite a few links coming off of it. I bet that one is. It just didn't load the... Oh, it's down there. Owned by the Resistance. So yeah, the Enlightened have totally lost control of their targets in Linz. So we'll see how many points, yeah. That portal is inoculated. So it's looking good for the Resistance in Linz, and it's looking better for the Enlightened in Riga. It's sort of a flip-flop, which is what we found throughout the day. It's sort of been a flip-flop. Now, it's unfortunate for the Resistance in Riga because they were coming back, and it was almost 50-50, but now it looks like for the Link Stars, at least the first measurement, it's not going well for them.
How much time do we have?
4 minutes until
4
the
minutes.
measurement. And you don't know, I don't know if it's a 1 minute or a 2 minute window. So sometime in that window is when they're going to take a score. So again, if the Enlightened somehow miraculously take out those Link Star targets, the Resistance won't get any points. So it could be that in Riga they're waiting for a certain time to do something.
Right.
I don't know what the inoculation looks like for those portals. You know, they may... I wonder if this field is down and it's just looking like that on the map. Yeah, because there's many more links happening. So I'm sure that field is down. It's just a matter of the map hasn't updated yet. Yeah, and it looks like, yeah, the Resistance are scoring many links off of that. The Enlightened have no links so far.
Yeah, they don't have any links.
They have
off
control of it, yeah. But that field really messed with them. So they only have 3 minutes now to do any amount of linking.
So far, how far out was that field being thrown up from? A couple miles outside of town?
It was quite a ways. Yeah. Oh, man.
Nope, they got their Link Star up now.
Now, again, there's a maximum amount of points.
Right.
So it goes off the... They add up how many points total, and then whatever percentage of those points you have, that's your score.
Okay.
So if the Enlightened get 1 link off of this, it'll be like 99-1 or something. But it looks like the Resistance, you know, it looks like there's almost no Enlightened links coming off of the... There may be 1 or 2 coming off of there that the map hasn't updated yet, but it looks like the Resistance will score all the points for this first one, and there's about 2 minutes until the jump.
Take a look at Riga.
The Enlightened are trying to break... The Resistance are doing a really good job keeping that wall up.
Yeah.
They're doing everything they can to minimize the impact. Because again, the score was pretty close. So if the Resistance can play damage control, they may be able to come back. It was just to the north across that little stream there. Yeah, they're not scoring much. So the Enlightened will score quite a few points in this first phase, or this first measurement. The second measurement, there's going to be more Link Stars. So it'll probably be 2 and 2 here, and then 4 and 4 for Linz. It's usually they double it. So,
No, do they work off of how many people are there, or is it just a random decision, 1 here, 2 there?
They do it off the population. So, Niantic knows how many people got tickets, and they'll put the Link Stars based on approximately how many people they think are going to show up, because you don't want like 100 agents having to do 5 Link Stars, and the other team has however many. You know, they try and even it out as much as they can. So the Resistance are valiantly trying to keep the Enlightened boxed in to minimize the damage here, and then hopefully in the next phase. Now again, some of the Link Star targets may be known to people.
Right.
So they may have known because Goruk, they give intel. There's dead drops. There's all sorts of ways. Some people get notes slid under their hotel room. I've seen that. And it gives them a map of where the Link Star targets are supposed to be. So the Enlightened may have known that this was a Link Star target, and they've been collecting keys all day. So the same could be true in Linz. You know, they may have known one of those targets. So the Resistance, I think their goal is going to have to be wipe all that green off the map as much as they can. Because there's going to be even more... They're going to move the targets.
Right.
So one could end up right in the middle of that green spot there. As you can see, they're already starting to link. Zoom in on this here. So that could be a Link Star target for the next round. That they're starting to get these points off, get them going, get it held. Just like in Lynn's, the Enlightened sprayed as much as they could early on to get control of the play box. Now the measurement is happening. The measurement is happening, and the points will switch after the measurement, and so the resistance one could end up somewhere in there too, but we'll see. I'm almost positive that's going to be a Link Star target for the next round, because they may have found that out through intel or whatever, or they're just doing that to mitigate if a resistance one pops up in that area, there's nothing they'll be able to do to link. And it looks like this is just a slaughter right now, all those links.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Well, we're in the middle of the check period.
Yeah, so anything they add now, the measurement could have been taken, but you want to, during these 2 minutes, you want to just keep going with what you're doing. Hope that they've either already taken the score, or if you're able to rip off some more links.
Yeah, they have.
Hope that the score is, at the end of the measurement period, so we'll see what happens. But it's looking very good for the resistance here in Lynn's. I'll be curious to see once they flip the map if that
green
one, if that's a target. So it looks like the measurement is over now. It may take a minute for the map to update. May have to, it's still showing Oh, you know what? That one wasn't there before, so it probably moved. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's 2 resistance targets there. Yep, that was an Enlightened target.
Yep.
So they knew that one ahead of time, and they started going on it. So it looks like the Enlightened. I'd be curious to see what the score. We'll check the score in a few minutes here. It takes them a few minutes to update the spreadsheet, so we'll see. We'll see what it looks like, but it's not looking too good for the resistance here in Riga. And it's unfortunate because they were doing such a good job regaining ground. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe? Yeah, no scores yet. So. We'll probably get the scores in a minute or two here, and then we can see what's going on. Hopefully the resistance can do something to that. Now again, the Enlightened are in the lead. In the actually, can you pull up the score thing again? And go to the very top. So
7-5.
So the resistance won Singapore, which was a primary, and the Enlightened won Incheon. So right now the series score is 7-5. So these victories are going to be important for the resistance to regain. If it's going the way it's going, it'll probably be 9-6. And then the resistance will have to win both North American sites to tie the series, I think. Because I think it's 2 points for a primary and 1 point for a secondary. I think. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So if it's going the way it's going, the resistance have hope to tie the series in North America if they win both sites. So we'll see how the score goes. Let's refresh the score and see if we got any points here for these Link Stars.
scroll up. Is Lynn's the first one? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we don't have any scores yet. May take another minute or two. Let's refresh the map and see if the Resistance were able to do anything with this.
Next Link Star.
Oh, it's even worse. Well,
Yeah,
good job, Enlightened, for.
Yeah, they definitely
Man,
set
yeah.
that up.
Oh, it looks like there's even more. There's 3 targets.
Yeah.
So the Resistance have 2 up there, 3. Oh, how many? Wow. And there's one to the. There's even more. There's one down here. And I think there's one over there. So. Dang, the Resistance have a lot of targets. I don't know why the. Sometimes it's hard to see the colors in there. Yeah. It looks like the Enlightened have put all their. They probably knew that one all day.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're just gonna focus all of our energy on this. And see what happens, and if not, they can fall back to other ones.
They're doing pretty good on the west side as well. Resistance, not so much.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Enlightened ones there.
Yeah.
They're focusing all their energy on that one big one.
They're doing well.
Mm-hmm. So we have, let's see, it's 10:37. So we have right around 25 minutes left before the next measurement here. Let's take a quick break, and we can come back to this. See if the scores pop up in the meantime. All right, so we're back, and we have the scores, and a lot of interesting stuff has happened with the scores. So right now we're looking at Riga, and the Riga scores actually ended up being
26-22.
Yeah, 26 links for the Resistance to 22 links for the Enlightened. So they must have either taken the score early or late. Maybe the Resistance were able to take that out. So currently for that phase, it's 54-45. So the Resistance got a little bit of an edge in that Link Star phase, and that brought it up to the total score being 152 Enlightened to 147 Resistance. So it's still a very close. We didn't think that the
I was sure they lost.
Yeah. So it's now within, I think, like 5 points. So there's still measurement 2 of phase 3, which is the Link Stars. So there's more Link Stars happening now. And then additionally, there's going to be a unique hack competition. Players have been uniquely hacking all these portals throughout the day. Niantic averages them out. They have a way they figure out the scores. But basically what it comes down to is the team that has the most unique hacks gets additional points for the anomaly.
Is that hacks per player, like an average, or hacks total?
So
say you have 150 on one side and they average 10 hacks, and you have 100 on the other side and they average 13 hacks.
What they do is they take the list of all the players and how many unique hacks. They cut off the top and the bottom, and then they take, I think, an average of those
So
scores
hacks
to figure,
per person
yes,
rather than raw hacks.
Yeah. So that will add more points to either team, depending on which team has been doing these unique hacks. And then also GoRuck, the GoRuck Special Ops thing, also is worth anomaly points. So it's still a very close race. The Enlightened could either increase their lead here, but looking at the Link Stars, it's looking pretty close now, at least glancing at it. Those extra things, it's going to come down to the GoRuck score and the unique hacks now, I think. If the Resistance are able to win Linz and Riga, they have a chance to win the series by winning both North American sites. If they lose Riga, the most they can do is tie the series. And I can't remember if there's a tiebreaker. So it'll be interesting to see. Riga is going to be the deciding factor here, I think, for this series. Outside of North America. Resistance could lose both sites in North America, and then it doesn't matter. But
and Riga's interesting in that when we left, when we went on break, it looked like they were just dominating.
Yes.
They had that Link Star that was killing everyone, and we went over and checked out the other city.
Yes, Linz.
Linz, and when we came back, it looked like it's completely flipped now. This is Riga we're looking at right now, right? Or is this Linz?
No, this is Riga. Yeah.
So the Blues seems to be using that Northwest and that Link Star. They can't seem to get that back up. It's like they blew all their keys or something in the beginning.
Yes.
I'm assuming they had to have the Blues or the Resistance had to have taken them out while we were gone, because I don't think they were able to one by one take every one of those out.
Right, yeah. It could have been they either took out the portal, focused on a different one. Maybe, we think the Enlightened knew that one. Which was interesting. So they had a leg up by probably knowing that portal all day. Now that Link Star is pretty much gone.
Well, is it also possible that that's kind of jumping the gun? If you haven't even no one's learned what the enemy's Link Star is yet, and then suddenly 3 minutes before, you can have guys on bikes already charging out to there. We saw that happen in Linz. Green had those up real quick.
Yes. Yep.
And then Blue essentially took them all down, threw a field over it, and ended up crushing them in Linz. So
it'll be and there's still 10 minutes left. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's refresh the map and see.
Do I sound like a total noob by referring to them as blue and green rather than Resistance and Enlightened?
I do that.
I
call green green because it's quicker than saying Enlightened.
Yeah.
So, there's quite a few coming up. They've got a good one, and the Resistance have a good one in the middle there, and one just slightly south of there. So we'll see what happens. Everyone's scrambling. You've got 10 minutes. People are very low on gear, using their last bursters, hacking portals. They want to hack the portals for those anomaly points. hack whatever gear you can. I mean, I remember at Ann Arbor, I was down to, we had the fielding frenzy instead of the Link Star.
Right.
You had to create so many fields, and there was a section of like 6 portals around some university buildings. So it was like a long haul. You couldn't just cut through the block. You had to go all the way around these buildings. And there were about 6 portals, and I was down to like 6 and 7 bursters and rezos, just holding those links up. And I was like running over, recharging as I was running back, and just trying to scramble to hold what I could. I was using I was down to my last resonators, hacking whatever I could. Some guy on a bike just happened to roll past and drop shields on. I mean, that saved my little section because Enlightened were coming, and I had no help because we were all so spread out trying to get these fields up. So it's a tough battle, and especially there's so many links coming off of that. It's hard to tell if the 2 resistance link stars there are going to equal what that 1 Enlightened is going to be.
Yeah. Well, we still have 10 minutes.
Yep.
We've seen some pretty crazy shifts before. So
yeah, we'll see what happens with those. Those look. I don't know why they switched to soft banks, but I mean you do get shielding off of links.
Yeah.
And you do get extra shielding from those soft banks. So it could be that they had to switch to that, and or maybe they're doing that to launch the links off, and then once one gets knocked off, put the shield back in its place or something.
Right.
And so we will see. We've got.
So just a point of order that has less to do with this. Like, say I have 16 links coming out of something, and I have a softbank on there. Obviously, if someone blows off that softbank, do I lose those links, or do those links stay?
I don't think you lose the links, but you can't make any new ones. And then if you put another softbank on, it recalculates.
Okay.
So you still wouldn't be able to shoot any links. You have to add
similar to knocking a resonator off of a fully deployed portal.
Right.
It's not going to kill the links.
Yes.
But
Yep. It's going to be so close.
Yeah.
It's been a tough battle in Riga. That's going to be a tricky site. This will be the deciding factor, I think, because let's go back to Linz and see how things are going.
So is Linz one of the primary, or is it Riga that's the primary?
I believe
target?
Linz is the primary.
And you said 2 points for that.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Linz is the primary.
Well, then technically you could still see it, because you said it's 2 points for Linz then and 1 point for Riga. If you could have an 8 to 7 coming in, or you're almost gonna have an 8 to 7 coming in, right?
Right.
With one team having 8 and the other having 7, because Linz I
Right.
think is a 4
If both cities get won by the Resistance, it would be 8 to 7, and then the Resistance have a chance to win the series in North America, assuming they get both cities.
But if Lighten were to take them both, it's pretty close to over at this point then for
Resistance.
Yeah.
Resistance have to win all of North America for sure, and they have to win both these sites and both in North America to win.
Are you sure?
If they win...
Oh, to win. You're right. Okay, all right.
If they tie this... If the Enlightened take Riga, the Resistance can only tie the series. Because then the Enlightened will be up by 3.
But if the Enlightened, because Riga you said, or Linz is over 2, right?
Yes.
So it's 7 to 5. So if
it's 7 to...
I thought it was 7 to 5. Yeah. So actually...
Oh, yeah.
They could still win, even if they're down by 1, they could still tie this if they lose it and they take the primary U.S. city.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Philly's the primary for U.S.? All right.
Yes. Math on the fly.
Yeah.
The Europe, it's good.
Hard.
It's coming down to the wire. So, I think Niantic did a good job figuring out the cities and how they wanted it to play out to be close. It's not a blowaway where there's, both teams still have a chance to win this series. But it's going to be a hard-fought battle, especially in North America. We got about 5 minutes to go here.
Do you know anybody who's in Vancouver today?
I don't know about Vancouver, but We do have an agent in the field and in Philly who's going around interviewing people, and we will show some of their interviews. And then we have one or two other agents coming to the studio to do more analysis. So North America will be fun. Looks like the Resistance are really trying to take control here. They've got one big one, and the other one is like semi-big. But the Enlightened, they have to have. If they lose that one there, then that's it for them, really. It's hard to tell from looking at this which one has more links.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking Enlightened's got more links, at least on the one.
Yeah.
But between the two.
The problem is the Resistance, their things are so close to each other that it's going to be hard for them to take. They're going to have to push into another area of the city. There's a lot of gray portals coming up there. And they're blocking each other, as you can see. So,
Oh, so yeah, that initial Resistance Link Star is, all it's really doing is blocking right now.
Mm-hmm. The only hope they have is to link off of that into there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
4 minutes.
They've started fielding too, so that blocks even more stuff. There's that whole group of portals up there to the top left that they could be linking to, but they can't because they fielded that up. That's the other trick is explaining to new players like, hey, only link to the one portal, don't field because...
No, I was going to say, why would you field it? Okay,
right.
because you're not doing a smart thing.
Right.
All right.
Yes. You know, hopefully that line of portals right there is all linked up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's got to be.
It's going to come down. 3 minutes left. It's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, well, I bet on Enlightened last time, and I was wrong. I still think I'm sticking with Enlightened on this one. It looks like they got it for the second round.
There's so many links coming off of that. That's the problem. But, I mean, there'll be a points distribution, so it could be 50-50 again.
Yeah.
And then you have the points from the other things, like the hacking and the Go-Ruck.
So is the Go-Ruck taking place right now, or is it...
I don't remember. I don't know if it happened before or the night before or during. They have a lot of new Go-Ruck challenges. So I'll be sure to get that next time, but
now, if I could be mistaken, was Go-Ruck, did they have like multiple Go-Ruck sites that were somewhat away from some of these more like tertiary sites?
No.
Or they're actually
they're at the sites. They had like a stealth. They had a what else? They don't call it urban ops anymore. They have something else that they do. But it's similar. So, yeah, it'll be, we got 2 minutes left here. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the, with this.
And this is the part of the show where we stare at the map.
Yes,
and watch
intently, like what's going to happen? Everyone is watching the map. So we'll see what happens with these link stars.
Yeah, that Enlightened on the upper left.
I can't tell if that's links. Zoom in on that a little bit. Is that links or fields?
I think it's fielded, but it's also linked. They got crazy links coming off of it. Those are just all layered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a monster.
Click on it once. Let's see. How it's, yeah, it'll be.
Yeah, although the secondary one for Resistance definitely
that could
looks
help.
like it's
that could help turn the tide.
They just killed it. They just flipped it. And did they kill it or did they flip it?
They flipped it.
So why?
And it's 1 minute before.
Why wasn't it flipped? Was that a mistake?
They had to. They would have to hope that the Enlightened didn't realize the flip time.
Yeah.
They probably knew that the flip time was going to be a minute before and just hoped that nobody realized. Because if you're planning this link star, or if you're trying to get as many points as you can at this point, you just have to hope, because you're not going to be able to retake that portal, get it back to blue, and then throw all the same links that you just had. So it was probably a matter of, we only have 1 minute, let's hope that they don't do anything in that 1 minute, but looks like they got it, so. It's frustrating, but then it allows the resistance to link from that other link star into there, so we'll see if maybe that
True.
helped. I don't know. Because the
I
other
doubt it.
portals will still be, the other portals will still be blue. So, let's refresh the map, let's see what it's. That was up a little bit.
Yep. Resistance.
It's just a ground battle now. Everyone's using their last bursters to try and do whatever they can to blow those up.
So got a few people through from far out back in.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing that.
But yeah, it's still that's not going to be
some
enough.
Of those.
That's not going to be enough to put resistance.
Measurement
over.
is happening right now, so you never know. And again, there's still the Goruk and the other thing, so there's still a chance for the resistance to win this site. But it's going to be close. Let's take a look at Lynn's before we have the measurement here, or while we have the measurement. So it looks like, this is interesting, because it looks like, I mean, the resistance have several scattered around, but there's not a specific enlightened
Oh, did they
hub.
just flip? They just flipped the resistance hub as well. Looks like. Oh no, not. Who knows? We all love Intel and how makes you wait forever. Yeah, it looks like they had to recapture it. We definitely saw some links come down off of that one. So the question is when exactly did that happen?
Right,
Did it happen before or after scoring? And it looks like scoring time is over. You said it was 2 minutes?
Yeah. So the scoring is probably over, and we won't know the final score until the after party. So we won't be able to update you with the final score until we start with the North America anomalies. But
will they at least give us the link scores?
I don't know.
Really?
Because then you can add them up.
Well, but then with the Goruk and everything, they could keep that secret, right?
True. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it. Yeah, it looks like the map stalled out because of it. Everyone's like, it's over. Oh, and there's a field. Now there's a field over. So, all right. Well, this has been an interesting couple hours. From the looks of it, the resistance won Linz, but we're not sure what happened in Riga. So that's going to be the big question. And if the resistance won Riga, that will give us more of a chance to win the series. If they didn't, then we'll see how the math works out.
So if they won in Riga, it would be 8 points to 5. Linz would be 8 points to 7. So you'd have to win Philly to tie, and you'd have to win Philly and Vancouver to win for resistance.
Yeah. So it's going to come down to that 50-50 battle in Riga here. So let's take one last look here to see what it looks like.
Is that field down already, or did we just flip maps? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it looks like the resistance claimed a bunch, but will it be in time?
Not even close.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a limb and say Enlightened took that handily.
So, all right, well, thank you all viewers for joining us for the Europe anomalies. We will be back with North America. We'll have scores from Europe, the final scores. We'll have the same analysis and stuff going on for North America. And we have some interviews with people in the field. It's going to be awesome. So, let's see. I think I have a final... go all the way up to the top. Ending. Stream ending. Yeah, you can just... All right, so thank you all, and we will see you all again in a couple of hours.